Hey guys, welcome back to my How to Kill a Kit with Style series. Today I'm going to be scrapping, of course, Christmas photos because that is what my kit is comprised of. And I am scrapping a photo of my youngest son when he received his phone for Christmas this year. So this is going to be a very minimally embellished layout. And we're just going to do some paper piecing to form the shape of a tree. And I got this idea, I saw something, it was a photo or a quilt or something on Pinterest, and I got this idea of using squares to form a tree shape on the layout. So what I did is I'm using, these are a 6x6, or it's actually a 6x8 paper pad from Bella Boulevard, and I just picked out several patterns from that pad and cut the squares into 1.5 by 1.5 inch squares. So I started at the bottom, and then what I did was I cut some of the squares in half so they will form a triangle shape. So I started at the bottom, just starting my base of my tree, and just kept, I turned the squares on an angle so it's more kind of like a diamond shape, and just kept positioning the photo or the paper up the tree to, so I didn't have the same patterns next to each other and so forth. It did take a little bit of playing around with, trying to figure out how to make the tree proportional and how to make it taper up, like get smaller from the bottom to the top. But once you start playing around with the papers, it really does become pretty simple. And then once you get the process going, it's super, super quick. And as you'll see when, how I started it, so I did all of my center pieces up the center, and then I kind of worked my way out from there. I don't know. You could do it several different ways, actually. And then what I did was I printed my photos in 3x4 for the large photo, and then 2x3s for the two smaller supporting photos. And I layered those supporting photos over the tree with a little tag that says "with love," and on that tag is where I'm going to do my journaling. And then I add a very simple title, and that's really going to be it. To kind of decorate the tree and add some interest to the tree, you'll see what I do here in a little bit, which I absolutely love. I don't want to give it away too soon. But here I'm backing my photo, and I decided to keep the photo backed with just very simple white cardstock and navy blue cardstock, because I didn't want to kind of interfere with all the patterns that were going on with the tree, and I felt like it would be too distracting. So then I'm going to look through, I had a little washi tape book with the Bella Boulevard collection, and I got that collection, I believe, on Peachy Cheap last year, I think. And so I layered a few washi strips. One says "do not open until Christmas," and then another one is just a bunch of little different Christmas tree shapes. And that is going to be it. I added a little tag at the top that said December 25th. And then I'm going to add my title. And my title, I used a 3x4 card that was in the collection, and I cut out this word "joy." And then above it, I'm going to use some of the Paige Evans, those mini navy blue puffy stickers to spell Christmas. And then my title is going to be Christmas Joy. And then you'll see here in a minute, once underneath the joy, I'm just going to add a little washi tape heart that was in that washi tape book that came with this collection that was in my kit. So this one was super cute. I mean, super simple, super cute too, but super, super simple. And I would encourage you to go onto Pinterest and just look up quilts. It is amazing what you can find and what you can recreate with paper by looking at quilt images online or on Pinterest. That's one of my very favorite things to do when I want to use multiple patterns, and especially if I have a 6x6 paper pad. Because obviously with the 6x6 paper pad, it makes it a lot easier because all of the images and the print is scaled down to a smaller size, so you get to see more of the pattern in a smaller dimension or space. I've done this before with like quilt patterning, like doing something like this where I used hexagons and other shapes to just do not necessarily a shape like this one, like a Christmas tree, but just do a quilt pattern, maybe down 1/3 of the side of your page or across 1/3 to have a shelf to lay your photo on. It is such a great way to be able to showcase a lot of different patterns, like I said, especially from a 6x6 paper pad on one layout without it being too busy. Because what you do is you let that be the busyness on your page, and then with that you don't really have to add too many embellishments or anything to finish it off, because there's already so much interest there for you to look at. So I think, I'm not sure what I am doing right here. I might be finishing the title, but in a moment, here I am with the pom-pom trim. So I'm going to cut pieces of some white pom-pom trim, and I actually got this at Hobby Lobby in the fabric section where all of their spools of ribbon are. And if you wait until it is 50% off, I think you can get a roll for like $1.50. So I am going to run the ribbon across each I guess bottom tier of this Christmas tree, and I love the detail that it adds and the dimension that it adds. And again, this is another reason why embellishments are not necessary on this photo. I feel like if there were too much embellishing added, then it would draw your focus away from the detail on the tree. And I spent, the time creating the tree, so I want to make sure that's kind of what you see along with the photos. So as soon as I get the trim down, I'm going to go ahead and add those two supporting photos, the 2x3 photos. And I really am so happy because although the photos are blurry, I really captured the surprise and the excitement in my son's face when he opened this gift on Christmas morning. It is something he did not expect to be getting, and it's just fun to look back at these pictures and just look at how happy he was to receive that gift. So anyway, are you guys all done with your Christmas layouts? I don't know about you, but I struggle with scrapbooking Christmas. I'm not a big fan of the red and green color combination. And quite frankly, I just get bored after a couple layouts. And that's kind of why I created this kit this month, to sort of see what I could do about getting as many, of these layouts knocked out as I could. But I'm definitely going to reconsider my kit for next month and make it a little bit more versatile, so I'm not stuck scrapbooking the same type of photos, because I found that is very difficult for me. I tend to get bored after one or two of the same type of theme, and I found because of that, I got quite a few layouts done this month, but it just, they're not all Christmas. I did, because I've said this in so many of my videos, but I have to accept that I'm an emotional scrapper, and I don't scrap something just because it needs to be done. I scrap what I feel like scrapping at the moment. And that's where I get the most joy. And I do this hobby for joy and for fun and for relaxation and therapy and all those reasons. But when I pressure myself to have to get certain layouts done, it just doesn't become fun for me anymore. So I just accept that this is the way I am, and it's okay. I can just scrapbook out of order and scrapbook what I want to and when I want to. So I think after these last few layouts, I'm going to be putting Christmas away for a while, and I will start focusing on other layouts and stuff. My favorite layouts to scrap are just everyday moments. Those are my favorite. So I'm going to come up here in a bit with come live and show you what I did for the rest of the layout. Oh, you know what? No, I'm not. I just added this in at the end. I remember now. So here's the final layout. I wanted to add a star to this, but I was at a crop when I created this and I didn't have all of my stash, obviously. So I took it home and I added the star, and I will end up adding journaling on that tag eventually. And that's it. That is my finished layout. I did go ahead and back just 2 sides of the paper with navy blue cardstock on the left hand side and the upper side, just to give it a little bit of a frame. It was a little bit heavier on the right with the large photo, and I just wanted to frame it out a little bit on the left. So I love how it turned out. I hope you all did too. If you have any questions, please leave me questions in the comments, and I will be sure to get back to you. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.